All right, hello everyone. How you guys doing? I'm excited to bring matter of fact, I'm excited to be back to bring our next 30-minute Rockstar series. And today we have a fabulous Rockstar agent, Montaz McCray. I am telling you, he is young, he is hungry, and he has an energetic and powerful career already in real estate. Montaz, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, so first, I just want to say thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
A little bit about me. Everybody kind of sees the headline and how I sold like 5 million last year, but it's just really, it's crazy, right? Because my story is not conventional. I didn't sell my house my first 5 months of the business. My first closing was it was a row house in Baltimore City, only $60,000, so didn't make much. So even once I got over the hurdle of having my first closing, it wasn't much. So I'm like, oh, I'm still trying to hold on and just trying to really see and grasp the rewarding opportunities that are available in this industry. But again, I didn't get much.
Yeah.
From there.
But I like that. You said you made what, 11 mil in 7 months?
So 11.5 million in sales in 7 months. So.
Man, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal growth that you've had and tremendous work that you put in. So when did you actually get your real estate license? So
I got my real estate license. I hung it December 1st. So I was actually finishing up my undergrad in 2020. So I just was like, okay, well, what's one more exam? I'm taking five other exams. Why not take the real estate exam too? So I added that to the mix, and I actually I graduated like the last week of November. So I decided to. The day I started my corporate job, I decided to take on that.
Awesome. So your interest in the real estate doesn't sound like there was a huge passion or a huge thought. It was just, hey, if I can get it, I can get it, and we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah, that kind of was how it transpired. I actually had a friend. I went to visit him in Atlanta, and he had a $1.5 million house, right? And he worked for Apple. So, and he told me he was shifting into real estate, and I was like, wow, like, this is another thing that happened. You're killing me. And he just, if you commission checks, okay, well, maybe I can make this work. And that's kind of how it all started from there. But, beyond the commission checks, now with me being in, then I realized the hard work that comes behind those checks. And it's not just all
And you have an interesting story of how we got to get a commission check, right? So just even the story you just told, you saw the path of going to the corporate world. And you mentioned when you started working in your corporate job, that's when you actually started getting your license. Right. What was it like working in a corporate job?
Nothing. Like I did the same thing every day, just typing up it for a spreadsheet. It was okay. I mean,
but that's what you went to school for, right?
Yeah, that's what I went to school for. So I mean, it was like, yes, went to school, graduated, 3.7 GPA, got a job in DC, making close to 6 figures. So that was the ideal scenario,
right?
Coming right out of college. And it just didn't fulfill me. And then obviously I didn't fulfill my role because they fired me about 2.5 months in.
So that was an interesting. In the first conversation I had, you were telling me about that. The firing. What are they firing you for?
So one, the lack of performance, because it's tough, right? Like when you're starting a real estate career, you have to be all in or it's all in or all out. So during lunch breaks, I'm watching training videos. I'm trying to call and follow up with clients during the work day. So my work performance wasn't really there, and then it didn't help when it got on social media either. Saw how I was branding and marketing myself. It's a real thing. It's a full-time job. I didn't really tell people that I had a full-time job. I just tried to make it work.
And no, I'm asking, when did you get fired? When did you start that job? Then when did you get fired?
So I started like December 1, and then probably like 2.5 months, and they had let me go.
Okay. So now you're getting fired from being a real estate agent. Did you close anything in real estate?
No. No, I haven't. I didn't close any. I haven't closed any transactions. In fact, the the two deals that I had under contract at that time, they actually fell through 3 days after I got fired. So,
man, so, you know, we get fired. Matter of fact, we get fired for being in real estate.
right,
We kind of like, all right, you're gonna fire me, at least I have these 2 deals going.
right.
The 2 deals fall out. What are you going through? What are you feeling?
Well, one, I was kind of going through a little bit of an identity crisis because I bought a Range Rover because I'm living with my
Oh, you
parents.
splurging?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but again, I was living with my parents, and I was very comfortable. I'm like, okay, whatever, get my car that I want, and I'm good. I'm comfortable. Anything I make with real estate, it'll be extra income to what I'm already making from my full-time job. But it just didn't end up working like that. So I was just like, oh, I just didn't know. It was a tough time, but it only took me like 3 days to bounce back. And it's like, okay, I gotta go all in now because it's all I got.
Man, don't gloss over that 3 days. I think getting into real estate, and I'll even talk about, I know it from my career, and I think whether you are a brand new agent, whether you're an experienced agent, we all go through pitfalls. We all go through that lull of, I'm good enough right now, right? I don't have it in me. And we talk about failing forward. So in those 3 days, you said you got to just recompile yourself and refocus in. What was your mindset? What did you use to, we call it in Keller Williams, a big why? What was your motivating factor to get back on the horse and say, I'm going forward?
Right. My motivating factor was my family. Number one, I'm not a quitter. That's a big lesson. That was a big thing for me just because I played college sports and I played sports since 6th grade. And there was a lot of tough times on the basketball court where I didn't play as much as I wanted to play. It would have been really easy for me just to quit the team and just do whatever, but I didn't, right? I persevered through those tough times. And I feel like in life, there will be a lot of times we want to quit and you're tested, but the real, measure of a man or the measure of your character is if you're gonna, work through it or if you're just gonna quit.
So now you got that hunger in us. I'm not a quitter, I'm gonna fight through. Now you decide you're gonna commit fully to real estate at that time?
Yeah, for the time being. So it was about 2 months, 2.5 months I was working. I'm learning how to call Bismos, learning how to call expires, learning just every source of lead generation, how to successfully hold an open house, how to market myself online in such a way that people felt comfortable referring me business. So I was just learning everything, literally watching podcasts all day, all night, just learning and embedding, all of this different information in my head.
What's awesome about what you just said? At Keller Williams, we always believe in, one, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can follow a model that's out there. Following that model, we can take the systems with it. You literally just said, that's what you poured yourself into. You found a path that other people have done, and you started following their models. You started seeing different systems that they were using, and started applying them. I'm sure, the marketing that you're in helped you along that way of saying, okay, these are some of the things you can do along your journey. As we go through that and just being either a brand new agent or experienced and trying to find how can I get out of this rut, right? We talk about moving from, where you're at, having to break through a ceiling to get to your next level. Well, you're going through that, you're using model systems to do it. But how did you put your own creativity there to make it Montaz's way?
Right. So for me, again, everybody's path and with their method of lead generation, preferred method of lead generation will be a little bit different. I just, found what kind of work for me. So I really like social media, right? Some people like to do it and things of that nature. I don't. I'll do knock around an open house. But for me, I just felt like I could reach so many more people on social media in a quicker amount of time. So think about it. In an hour, I might could door knock maybe 30 homes. But on social media, I can put out a post and it can be liked by 300 people in about 4 or 5 hours. And then not to mention everybody that sees my post is gonna like it. So it might have been saw by 1,000 or 1,200 people, but only 300 like it. And it might have 10 people, and 10 people might have shared it. So I just felt like, okay, I really want to dive deep into the social media thing. I want to do it at a high level. Social media has been really good for me to stay in front of my database.
Man, talk about failing forward. You get fired for social media, but now you turn social media into the crux of your business and how to drive forward. That's beautiful. So if I'm going in and my social media presence, I gotta admit, is not the best. In fact, it's damn near embarrassing. As somebody who's built their business off of social media, what would be the tip that you would give me to get started in having a better social media platform?
Yeah, so the number one thing I would say is people need to realize that everything on that social media is going to be scrutinized. And so for me, it's important that everything on Montaz McCray social media exudes professional, exudes somebody who's going to get the job done, exudes somebody who knows the real estate market inside and out. So I make sure every post and or every piece of content that I put out coincides with that message that I want to get out. Because people, so again, I don't post political stuff. I don't, post too much personal stuff. All I want people to know and take away when they leave my social media is that, oh my God, like he is the epitome of a real estate professional. And if I have any real estate needs, I need to call him.
Well, it's interesting with that. So you're not pouring your whole life into your social media. You're just portraying that image that you want everybody to experience from your business side into your social media.
Yeah, and I mean, I do some splashes of personal things just to show who I am or what person I am. But again, in this day and age, things can be misconstrued so easily. So I try to limit what I post.
So, it's easy, and I think a lot of us have always heard social media, social media, social media. But how are you taking a post that you put out about you being a real estate or a day in the life of real estate? How are you converting that into a tangible lead of somebody now either wanting to list their home or actually come out with it?
Yeah, so I've actually got some come listings through social media, and it's nice because people feel like they know your work. Like, so again, every post or every piece of content I put it out in excellence. So people can get a glimpse of what it's like working with me. So when I go meet with them, or if they call me from social media and they can see my work, it's kind of like it's a little bit. It's easy. It's easier. Like 80% of the work is already done because they see my content, they see the quality. They see the type of they see the work of my brand. So again, it just makes it easier.
So how would that listing come about? So they like the post, or they're putting a comment in, or how are they connecting with you, or how are you connecting with them aside from just that post?
Yeah, so I got a list of a young woman DM me, said, hey Montez, listen, I've been looking for some realtors in Baltimore. I love your content. I would love to talk more with you about listing my home. So, something like that. Then one time, I actually waited on this individual about 2 years ago when I used to be a server, and we just connected on social media. We had followed each other. Then I saw you on the site that I commented on it. I'm like, oh wow, that's awesome. He said, yeah, thanks. Come list 2 of my houses. I mean, and sometimes it can be that simple, of just letting people know, hey, I'm in real estate. Like just letting people know that you're in real estate, or and things of that nature. And I didn't directly call him, but he just saw from my post over time. I made my announcement that from every day I'm posting, every day. Like I wasn't even selling no houses, but I was posting. I did big showings. I had one of my friends, and I can call him up right now. He toured 5 houses with me in Baltimore City, and I didn't have a client or anything. I'm just like, let's go preview the home. And that's important because as a real estate agent, you need to learn the product. Yeah. You can't sell houses and you don't know the difference between an electric hot water heater and a gas hot water heater. It's just so many things that you need to know before you even can properly advise. So that's what I would say too. Preview houses, learn the product.
Man, I think it's phenomenal what you just said. On one side, fake it till you make it. But if you're portraying the image of I'm an expert in this field, and you don't have clients in your brand and win, you're taking your best friend out and using that to show people this is what dating life is like. It's phenomenal, man. That was an awesome idea to go forward with, because I think we have a lot of people who get started. That's the main question is, what do I do first? What knowledge can I get? I don't have anybody to take out. I can't broadcast myself as a real estate agent, but just what you did is an awesome step to go forward. You also built a funnel. We talk about creating lead gens to get a funnel of leads to come in. What's awesome about what you're going through, you know, there's many different ways to have it, but you created those leads to now reach out and contact you.
Right.
You know, for some of us, we've been in the industry for 10, 15, 16 years. And now we finally got to the point where now our phone rings more, and we still are doing our lead gen on a regular basis, but you figured out a way for your phone to ring in a very short period of time.
Right.
You know, that's a phenomenal thing for you to be able to create and go through. As you go forward, what are some different strategies that you're going to be using to continue to draw attention to yourself and have people continue to reach out to you?
Yeah, so one thing I would also say is I cold prospect. So I used to network market. I used to be a network marketer. So literally I got a client I'll give you two examples. So one, I was in a barbershop and I was waiting for my turn and I heard the gentleman in the chair, he was just like, oh, me and my girlfriend, we just need some more space. You know, I need a man cave, and he was going on and on and on. And then so when he got up and I was about to get in the chair, I was just like, hey, man, it sounds like you need to move soon. He was like, well, you know, I'm thinking about it. I just don't know. Well, listen, yeah. My name is Montaz McCray. I'm a luxury realtor. I service the Maryland, DC, and Virginia area. I know you're not ready yet, but if you're, you know, if you're looking to make that move, I can definitely assist you in that move. So we just connected on social media from there. Another thing I did, so again, you know, I do got a Range Rover. I saw a dude, he was in a BMW, because again, I'm a prospect. I'm always prospecting for my ideal client. You know, a client that's, I'm not going to be, again, I'm not going to be at McDonald's prospecting. I'm going to be probably at Chris prospecting for my ideal client, somebody who will probably be easier to get with. Not saying that people who at McDonald's can't, like, you know, but I would, you know, I'm trying to
McDonald's managers, you guys work hard and we bought a couple houses. Keep going.
Exactly, but I'm just trying, especially with me trying to break into that luxury market and trying to raise my price point. So I just say that to say I'm trying to be a little bit more strategic with my prospect. So one day, you know, I was pulling up at a bakery and I saw a gentleman, he had a BMW. And so, okay, cool, I waited for him to get out. I'm just like, man, that's a really nice car. What year is that? Just hyping them up, you know, and then building rapport. And then I'm just like, and so, you know, he told me, oh yeah, it's a 7 Series of 2020. You know, he's feeling it. He's happy because I'm asking him about his new car. Like, who's not happy when somebody's asking about your car? So I'm like, okay, cool. We're talking. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. Do you live in this area? Because I just moved. I mean, I just really want to know kind of like, what are people doing around here? What are some of the nicest spots? I'm just asking that, building rapport. Okay, cool. He said, I've lived in the area for about 5 years, but, you know, eventually I'm thinking I'm going to be making a move pretty soon. Cool. So that's the lead. But at the end of the conversation, I just followed it up. Hey, man, I really like to stay in contact with good people. Here, take my card. Another thing, I just wanted to let you know, if you're ever looking to get any home improvement done before you sell your house, I have a Rolodex of contractors that I work with frequently because I'm a luxury realtor in this area. So I definitely help you get the best prices. And you know, if you're looking for any service.
Man, that's amazing. You gave so many gems right there. I'm gonna try to start dissecting through them all. But start with this. You still cold prospect? You have all that social media presence and it's all coming in, but you still cold prospect.
Yeah, because the goal in 2023, because I know it's going to compound over time, is to at least sell one house a month by people that I cold prospect. Because imagine me doing that 20 to 30 times every month. You know, so that's 30 cards I'm giving out every single month. So it'll start to compound over time with people who can follow me on social media from interactions like that, or who still have my card on their nightstand or in their kitchen. So those conversations over time will continue to compound, and somebody's going to call me. You know, if only one person, if I do it 30 times every month and only one person, you know, calls me like every month from that, hey, and who's to say 2 people, you know, who's to say the interaction just went so well for them and I was embedded in their brain, then, you know, I might get 2 calls 1 month if somebody wants to sell and buy, because it's easier to get a client when you're face-to-face. It's a little bit more tangible. So I understand why some people like the door knock, but I know how I react when people knock on my door. So I'd rather it be, you know, seamless. I'd rather be at a bar and talk to somebody, or I'd rather, hey, like, you know, I see a nice car, give you a genuine compliment. I'd rather that interaction like that.
Which, you know, we talk about it all the time. Lead gen should not be something that is painful. It should be something that you enjoy. And even in your cold prospecting, you found ways to make it enjoyable for you to go forward. But you also mentioned that you're being very purposeful in that cold prospect. Talk a bit about that. What are you trying to have? What's the direction that you are making for your business, and how are you being purposeful to drive your business in that direction?
Yeah, so I have a mentor. He did 20 transactions last year. He did 20 million in value. I did 35 transactions last year. I did 11.5 million in value. So I'm starting to think, right? I probably worked harder than him last year, but he made more than me. He did less transactions. So when I started to think about things over the long haul, I'm like, okay, so maybe I kind of really want to develop that super niche clientele and work towards building a team. But I'm just thinking in terms of being a business owner too, because I have to watch where I put my time. You know, and I mean, if you want to be a real estate agent, if you just want to serve as many people as possible for the rest of your life, perfect. But I'm thinking in terms of a business owner and how to grow, you know, the Montaz McCray brand, and you know, over time, so I can be that, work towards being that developer, investor, also having, you know, a real estate team, having a super niche clientele, and doing and partaking in any other business activities that I want to take. So I'm not going to be able to service everybody. Like, I kind of want to build out that super niche clientele.
Okay. So in those conversations, you mentioned that, you know, you may not prospect at the Burger King, right? But then you're prospecting at the Ruth Chris.
Right.
What have you seen since you started doing that? And are there clients that you're getting that may be on a McDonald's budget that you're not working with now?
Right.
What are we doing there?
And so, and full disclosure, right? So in the same week, like last year, I closed a 160 deal for 162,000, and I closed the deal for 975,000, close to $1 million. They both received the same level of service. So I do work all price points, and everybody's still going to get stellar service. But again, I want to work smart,
being purposeful,
not harder. Yeah, and I want to be purposeful too. So again, you know, by prospecting at that, because I'm getting clients who can, you know, who can afford that on that region. So typically 9 times out of 10, you probably will be able to afford. So they should be able to afford. Not everybody there, you know.
They may have the income.
Right. But yeah, they should be able to afford, you know, a better home or things of that nature. Again, it's not always true, but for the most part.
Ask your question. And what you mentioned is a great thought process. Are you building yourself as a realtor, or are you building yourself as a business?
Right.
Wow.
I'm going to be more sustainable. Again, I know realtors right now who are showing it, and you know, they're right. I don't want to say any names, but I know realtors right now who are just knocking it out the park and killing it, and they're like 65 years old, and they're still ripping and running how I rip and run. And I rip and run. Like, some days I work from like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. I was late here because I was working on deals, just making sure everything flows, you know, because I can't operate frantically. But I don't want to work 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and rip and run as much as I do now 10 years from now, because it's a lot. Like, and so again, I'm setting myself up as a business owner. And again, I'm trying to continue to brand myself as a business. I know I can't do it by myself. So I have 2 assistants down. I'm working with Sean's assistant. And I have another virtual assistant, you know, just to help leverage myself. And again, it'll allow me to do more. And if my goal, you know, selling 20 million.
Awesome. So, and that's actually what I wanted to go to, is the goals. So this year you say 20 million. A lot of agents, they know that I'm going 1, 3, and 5 years out. So if this year is 20 million, what's the 3-year goal?
3-year goal, yeah, will probably be 30, right? Because I want to continue to set myself up. So, okay, cool, I did 11.5 this year, and I still think I was like, because I had $1 million deal fall out of escrow, and then I had 2 deals that were like 700,000 that fell out in this, because I went into December with 11 deals under contract, only 9 closed, and that would have put me in my 12. You know, to be that vulnerable producer that I wanted to be, you know, as a first-year realtor. Right. So again, like it's a lot. It's a lot of clients that I work with that I never talked about, you know, that I'm on NDAs and things of that nature with. And it's a lot of opportunities that I had my first year that just didn't quite come to fruition. I was touring a $2 million house and things of that nature that could have put me where I wanted to be or at the team. But it's fine. So again, I want to do 20 million this year, then preferably 30 million next year, and then that third year, that's when I can finally license my team. And I can focus on expanding my team and not as much my numbers, but growing my team, because I like, I had that philanthropic, humanitarian aspect as well. I want other people around me with the world to, see as well.
And of course, what's the 5 year? Let's really push it out there.
The 5 year is to work again that super niche clientele, builder, developer, investor, and then any other business, Montaz McCray wants to start.
Hey, Montez, I'll tell you this, man. It's phenomenal hearing what you've been able to put together in just a short period of time, but also that understanding that you're a business. I think that just gives you that mindset to see, hey, we had a couple deals fall out, but I can still push forward because I understand that my business is going to be here, and this one deal doesn't make or break who I am or the business that I create. And you also been able to put it out there in the world and create that brand. It's truly made you a phenomenal rock star. And I got to be honest, man, I'm honored that you spent time with us today, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next 1, 3, and 5 years. And I appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you having me. No problem, man. Give out your social media information and how can we contact you and how can we follow you?
Yeah. So my social media, the main platform I'm on is Instagram. So my Instagram is Montaz.Marice, Montaz.Marice. And I'm also on Facebook at Montaz McCray. Okay. I'm on every platform, TikTok, LinkedIn. Yeah, I think that's it. There's so many social media platforms these days. It's like when I'm posting my social media posts, I'm like, all right, I gotta post to all these 5 different sites. It gets a lot.
Hey, well, I think it's interesting which one people gravitate to, but I think Instagram, especially in our world, because it's so visual,
Right,
has been the one that's been made the most difference for all of us. So yeah, it's been great. I mean, like I said, appreciate you. Thank you for coming by. Can't wait to see what is in store for you. And if there's anything that we can do for you, let us know. We're happy to help out.
thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you guys got some great information this week. If Montez gave us information, anything additional that you want to hear from him, please reach out. And if you want to find out more about jumping into real estate, please contact us here at Keller Williams Legacy. You can reach out to us or you can reach out to myself directly. My email is b.martinez@kellerwilliams.kw.com, or you can call me direct at 301-323-8115. Look forward to talking to you guys soon. Have a great day.